Our next guest speaks 5 languages, one for every personality, and today we hope she'll be speaking English. Put your hands together for Shona Welsh.
Hello, I'm Shona, and I'm one of those people that's been through a lot of changes in my life. For example, I moved 28 different times. I attended 17 different schools, and much to the horror of my 80-year-old mother, I've had 3 husbands. Here with us today is my current husband. I call him John. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't actually remember his real name. I mean, after 3 of them, who the hell cares? Anyway, this theme of change has also extended to my professional life. I've had 15 different jobs, 19 different bosses, and 2 felony convictions. I don't exactly remember when it was I first became homicidal at work. And I'm pretty sure it's when I worked for the government. Wait, does the laundry room of a federal penitentiary count as government? Anyway, you know, my jail sentences, luckily for me, they were really, really short. The judges were my first 2 husbands. May they rest in peace. Ladies, I don't care what they say. Orange is definitely not the new black. But I got a really nice parting gift in the form of an ankle bracelet. It's actually, it works really well. I only get an electric shock at the end of the driveway. You know, to tell you the truth, I've always been a bit of a misfit. I mean, wherever I've ended up working, it always turns into some larger version of a weird, dysfunctional family. And there's always one person, usually my boss, that's like your creepy drunk uncle. You know the one I mean, right? The one that your mom insists you invite to the family reunion, even if he is wanted on a Canada-wide warrant. Crying Ken runs in my family. So, by applause, how many of you have a boss you don't like? Woo! Okay, just a few of you. Okay, that's good. For those of you who are sitting there thinking to yourselves, nobody hates their boss at my company. You're the one. My last boss, she told me, oh, this is a great place to work. I mean, she turned out to be a control freak that owed almost all of her power to the fact she had the president's ear, which she kept in her top drawer. I was very inspired by that. So I figured, you know what, if I'm going to be as successful as her, I need to study. So I went out and I bought all the best-selling business books I could possibly find, and I learned a lot of things. For example, I learned that your career is all about choice. Choice, yeah. You can choose your own attitude. You can choose your own version of success. Well, after 19 stupid bosses, I chose my own assault weapon. I also learned that you have to envision your goals. Yeah, I don't have any problem with the visions. Even more powerful than the visions were the voices. One time I remember the voices told me just to smack my coworker. It's not like she'd really done anything in particular. She was from accounting. Just on principle. Any engineers in the room today? Yeah. You actually want to admit that? It's okay, it's okay. I'm not going to tell you what the voices said about you. One thing I also learned from the books was that you have to seek first to understand before trying to be understood. Right? And I was really anxious to try this out, so I asked my boss if she had any last words. To be completely fair, it was kind of hard to make out what she was saying through the duct tape. came from author Stephen Covey. You'll probably remember him. He wrote this book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, he said in this book, in order to be truly successful, you have to look after both your mind and your body. He calls this sharpening the saw. Certainly gave new meaning to heads will roll. I have to tell you, my employee engagement improved 100% with all that extra effort. My performance rating on teamwork was kind of low though. Anyway, I gotta tell you, despite all of my challenges, I am so happy I read all of those books, because otherwise I never would have met my current husband, or as everybody else calls him, my parole officer. You know, that reminds me, I actually have to get going. I have a job interview.
Shona Welsh, folks. Keep it going, folks. Shona Welsh.